Okay.
Hi, Blind Guy Garage. I'm going to do a operation video on how to operate a Hustler Raptor SD60. So on these machines, all the way out is park. You can start it from here. If you pull these in while you have the blades off or on, they're going to work as long as you're sitting on it. If you are to get off and you're sitting here or whatever and you've bumped one of the handles, you sit down and you go to try to crank it, it's not going to crank. Well, I said it's not going to crank. This one's buttons are really set out there. Most of the time they don't crank it, they're just a little bit in, but this one's cranking on them. Sometimes they can be just in a little bit. If you've got one of these and the buttons are not that sensitive, sometimes they will not crank. This one's got a Kawasaki on it, most of them do. You don't always need choke, but you start with choke at about half throttle. Choke is here. This is your throttle. Then you'll crank the machine. I'm not going to start it right this second because it's going to be so loud you may not hear it through in the video. Once you have it running and you're ready to cut, you want to go to full throttle and then turn. This is your PTO switch. This is your blades and your so this turns the blades on and off. I was thrown off by the dog barking at you, Matt. He's right behind you.
He's fine.
So then you would pull that up, and then as you'll have your blades running. You can set your cut height with your pedal here. You pull up on your safety latch or your, what do you call it? It's like a hanging latch.
To release.
Yeah, the deck release latch, deck height. You let that down. It'll hit this pin. This pin sets whatever cut height you want. This gets your deck up so that it's in the rest position so that you can go and you can pull into like ramps or on trailers or whatever you're doing. That sets it down and you change your cut height to whatever you want. And if you're running and cut real tall grass, you want the deck as high as you can stand to do it. The first go around and then your second cut, you should be able to go down to the normal cut height that you would want. To shut the machine down properly, you would turn your blades off and then bring your throttle all the way down and then shut the machine off. If you leave it at full throttle and you shut the machine off, sometimes that can cause damage to the engine. So think about it like your car. If you're going to be sitting there with your gas pedal, do you ever cut your car off with your gas pedal all the way down to the floor? Well, this is pedals to the floor right now, and then you'd be turning it off. That's not going to work very good on the machine. So you bring it all the way down and then you shut the machine off. And then you push your handlebars out so that you can step off the machine and it's not going to try to roll or anything like that. So I'm going to go through everything real quick. Handlebars are out. Probably don't need choke, but I'm just going to do it for video's sake. We're at half throttle. I allow the machine to come to full idle all the way down to idle where it's not changing or oscillating anymore, and it just kind of sits there and it rests at that lower idle, and then you shut the machine off. So now you have it shut off and parked in the proper way where you're not over revving it and trying to stop. And then I didn't bring this down, but that is literally all you do. And it locks on its own. You go up. It's supposed to anyway. On a machine with a little more wear on it or something, this may not move that good, and you'll have it just kind of do that, but you just have to push that down. I've had a few of them where this gets locked in the up position because this bolt right here is too tight, And I'll go and I'll loosen the bolt up a little bit so that this falls into place like it's supposed to. Other than that, that's pretty much everything you need to know, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. Y'all stay blessed.